Welcome to Friday, TGIF. It's May 23rd, 2025. This podcast brought to you by ConverseCountyTourism.com. Feel the energy of Converse County. Explore Douglas's railroad heritage, Ayers Natural Bridge, and the Jackalope legend. Glen Rock boasts scenic trails, dinosaur history, and small town charm. Plan your visit at ConverseCountyTourism.com. Well, as we head into the three-day weekend, we'll start it off today with afternoon and evening thunderstorms in some areas, as we kind of got a preview last night. A few are going to be strong, as we still have small little waves coming through the high pressure ridge that'll keep the weather pattern active. So through the weekend, showers and thunderstorms will be most widespread, the clouds will be most widespread, and the temperatures that will be the coolest will be most widespread along and east of Interstate 25. If you're west of I-25, your weekend is going to be better. It'll be a little sunnier, a little warmer, and less thunderstorm activity. But everybody is going to see the threat of afternoon and evening thunderstorm activity throughout the Intermountain West and the Western High Plains. So it all depends on where you are this weekend. You need situational awareness of where you're going to be and where you're going to place yourself this weekend. Across the west, beautiful shot there of some high cirrus clouds and some lenticular shape to those clouds there on the eastern Sierra. Coming in from California, we have an upper level wave coming in that's causing winds aloft to increase a little bit. But before the clouds built up yesterday, a nice shot there of some interesting looking clouds in Belleville, Kansas. Then the clouds began to build across the region very late yesterday. It was a late start to the showers and thunderstorms as we had to wait for an approaching wave to come in. Now, some of you may just look at that and see that as a cloud, but if you look and squint real hard, what kind of animal do you see? I don't know, maybe a squirrel, cat, lemur. Now, here's some wonderful photos of the thunderstorms that built up over southeastern Wyoming and western Nebraska and far northern Colorado late yesterday afternoon, and especially during the evening hours. A few of these storms got quite strong. And what's better than a beautiful lightning shot like this? Well, a Jan Curtis time lapse, of course. If you look really closely, you can see Jan running up the hill to take that lightning photo. But this thunderstorm developed and became quite a strong one as it moved into eastern Laramie County, southern Goshen County, into the panhandle of Nebraska yesterday evening. And here's another shot from northwest of Cheyenne of the same thunderstorm. Sometimes you just get these photogenic thunderstorms, and boy, last night was one of them. And into the Bighorn Basin, nice pretty sunset there. Another shot of that thunderstorm building up east of Cheyenne yesterday afternoon and evening. And across Converse County, east central Wyoming, the clouds built up as well. Then a beautiful sunset there in the Glen Rock area. Then back into Pinedale. Pinedale couldn't be left out. Had to put together on a great show there. The satellite imagery this morning shows those thunderstorms yesterday evening in an arch coming across the region. An upper level wave setting those off. That's why you have this arch where you have some lift like this coming on through. One thing I want to point out in this satellite image is the blue that you see right here. You see this blue? These are low stratus clouds. Basically, this is moisture that is being drawn up from the southeast to the northwest. So when we start to see low pressure in the Great Basin, like is coming in with these little waves, that turns the pressure gradient around, and that draws in higher humidity air in from the Gulf and the plains to the east and draws it westward. And you can see that with the low clouds here. And so when we put this all together, and we see this next wave approaching today, this is by noon today, the next wave is approaching, we start to get upslope. Now, I want to go back here really quick. You see this low here over the northeastern United States? Now, I rarely talk about the weather in New England, for good reason. I don't know how many viewers we have in New England, probably zero. But here is a little taste of winter weather for the Memorial Day weekend. So if you think you've got a lousy Memorial Day weekend in your neck of the woods, they're going to have snow in portions of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine this upcoming weekend. So I talked about that upslope. This is by 6 p.m. tonight. As that low pressure comes off the west coast, these are very subtle little things, but when it comes to thunderstorm season, subtle little things will drive the thunderstorm activity. So we have low pressure west of Grand Junction, southeast of Lamar here, and the wind flow will follow these isobars, or these areas of equal pressure. So as the day progresses today into the evening and nighttime hours, we start to see that wicking, that moisture starts to come up and push upslope into the region. And this is kind of what really sets off this weekend for areas along and east of I-25. And you'll see that with the Storm Prediction Center outlook for severe weather today. So that channel of moisture, that deeper moisture, and that upper level wave, although it's little, approaching from the west, is just what you need. So there's going to be some severe weather in the darker green and yellow areas today. So watch out for that. Here's your thunderstorm prediction by 6 p.m. this evening. So this is between noon and 6 p.m. We might even have thunder as early as noontime today in some of these areas. So that gets us through today. By noon Saturday, that upper level low is just north of Las Vegas. It is taking its sweet time. So basically at the surface, with low pressure west of the divide, the lower levels will bring that moisture in. So Saturday into Sunday, it barely moves. And on Monday, it's still just, well, about Estes Park. So it's going to take its sweet time coming through. So there's going to be a period of time from today through Memorial Day Monday, where along and east of I-25, weak but subtle upslope will occur. Daytime heating plus that upslope will get showers and thunderstorms going. So this is the strong thunderstorm risk for Saturday, kind of in the same areas. This is where we are for Saturday afternoon and evening, right along the I-25 corridor, right along I-80 here. Then notice along and west of the divide, there's not a lot of thunderstorms, but there's some. You just got to plan on them. So temperature-wise Saturday, this is all about what we've been talking about this week. What side of the divide you're on. If you're west of the divide, you see the warmer colors there. You're just going to be warmer. In the upslope areas east of the divide, you're going to be cooler. So this is Saturday. This is what we're looking at as we get into the weekend with thunderstorm chances on Sunday and where they're going to be strong. This gets us into Sunday afternoon and evening with thunderstorms. These are the temperatures on Sunday. These are the thunderstorms on Monday. These are the temperatures on Monday. Detecting a theme there, a very persistent pattern. So if you want more sun, if you want to be warm, head west. East of the divide, it's going to be a little bit soupy at times. However, the rain chances look good, and there might be some decent amounts of rain in areas that really need it. This is the national blend of all the global models. So you can see just a very consistent area where off and on opportunities for rain should amount to some okay amounts in some areas. This will certainly be helpful. As we go out and take a look further, this is by next Thursday. The overall general trend of the pattern isn't changing much. A high pressure ridge coming through, and we still have flow in the upper levels coming in from the northeast up against the continental divide. This is by the end of the week, and we still have these little lows coming in off the west coast. So this is going to keep moist, unstable air along the divide well into the second half of next week. So we're going to be dealing with thunderstorm activity off and on here for an extended period of time. Have yourself a great weekend. I will have a brief update for you Memorial Day morning. Have a great weekend and a safe one.